Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Now this morning our coverage continues on the deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. And this morning we now know their identities.
So they are 20-year-old Ethan Chapin from Conway, Washington. That's in Skagit County. 21-year-old Madison Mogan from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. 20-year-old Zana Kernodle from Post Falls, Idaho. And 21-year-old Kaylee Gonsalves from Rathdrum, Idaho. They were the 4 victims found dead in the off-campus house. So we've been gathering information with local officials and those close to the victims as we continue to dig deeper into what exactly happened on Sunday.
Now we are expecting to get a press release from Moscow police later on this morning. But right now, KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is actually live in Moscow with the very latest on the investigation. Good morning, Nicole. Now I know you're there on campus. What do we know as of right now?
So Channing, Tim, as you drive into Moscow, Idaho, you can really see this memorial growing. It's grown overnight as well here at the University of Idaho campus sign. You can see now dozens of bouquets of flowers, several little teddy bears as well, dedicated to those 4 students who died Sunday. As the U of I community grieves, though, we still don't know how those 4 students died. As of this morning, crime scene tape is still up around the house. We also saw 1 officer there this morning. Moscow police have not told us much about what happened. What we know is they found 4 students dead Sunday afternoon, but again, they have not told us how those students died. Right now, Moscow PD is calling this a homicide investigation, which could mean a number of causes of death. We talked to the city of Moscow's mayor. He said Moscow police are still working to figure out exactly what happened and that it's a complex situation. In the meantime, though, this has left students in the area afraid.
A lot of people left last night, and then we were like, I know we were like one of the only ones who actually stayed here last night. My mom has called me every single hour for since 7 a.m. this morning. So yeah, they want me to come home if I don't feel safe.
And we are expecting it to get an update from Moscow Police Department at some point today. We, of course, will bring you that information as soon as we have that. We also know that the University of Idaho will be hosting a vigil tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock here on campus. In Moscow, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Well, we are also hearing from the Palouse community and the leaders there following this tragedy. The University of Idaho's Dean of Students says this unexpected news shocked the Vandal community, and Moscow's mayor calling the tragedy a senseless act of violence.
This is rocking their world. Many of them come from small communities where things like this have never happened.
This is stuff that shouldn't happen, especially in a small, quiet town like Moscow is, where we're heavily involved with the university. And these are things that affect not just town, but the university, the students, lends everybody to a sense of insecurity about what's going on here and why. And it's a very tragic and sad situation all around.
And we are also hearing from leaders at Washington State University, which of course is not far from the U of I. Provost and Executive Vice President Elizabeth Chilton put out this statement on Twitter. She says, quote, "I am heartbroken to learn of the deaths of the 4 U of I students over the weekend and extend my sincerest sympathies to the families and friends of Ethan, Kaylee, Madison, and Zana and the entire Vandal community for this tremendous loss." And she also went on to say, in this time of tragedy, I hope that each of you will take time to take care for yourself and those around you. Let's work together to be compassionate and lift each other up. And then at a separate press conference yesterday, the University of Idaho's head football coach, Jason Eck, and WSU's head football coach, Jake Dickert, spoke about the tragedy and what it means to such a tight-knit community and student body.
Our heartfelt condolences and sympathies to everyone affected by this on campus, especially the family and friends of Madison, Kaylee, Zana, and Ethan. I know this is something that will affect the whole student body at Idaho and the whole community.
4 young people passed away, and our neighbors at the University of Idaho. And, prayers out to them and their families.
Now let's head on over to Channing with more on what Coeur d'Alene and Idaho state leaders had to say following the news.
Now, Tim, Coeur d'Alene Public Schools released a statement about Madison and Kaylee. They both went to school in the district. Coeur d'Alene Public Schools says, quote, "The loss of our graduates, Madison and Kaylee, is heartbreaking. We wish to convey our condolences to their families and friends, as well as their former classmates and teachers at the Lake City High School and other schools they attended. We join the University of Idaho community in mourning the tragic loss of all 4 students." And the Idaho State Board of Education president also released a statement on the tragedy yesterday. It reads in part, "The news out of Moscow is absolutely devastating. On behalf of the Idaho State Board of Education and the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho, I offer our deepest condolences to the families and friends of the students."